Okay, we are up to page 194. We're still following this trail of consecutive differences. So page 194, I want to look at another example. And let's go ahead and set up our chart. Let me give you the function because that's going to help us know how to set up our chart. F of x equals x to the third power. So how many consecutive differences will we have to figure out on this one? It's going to be 3. So with that in mind, let's set up a 5-row table that is very, 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 very wide. And everything depends on x. So that's where we're going to start. X is the independent one. This is the one that you and I have some control over. We're going to choose our values for x. So you know what I'm going to choose. -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then we need to put in a space for our function. But let's go ahead and do our differences first. I'm going to leave 6 boxes for the consecutive differences. And then we have plenty of room for f of x. We don't need this much room, but f of x, or the output, is x to the third power. And then we're going to have our first consecutive difference, our second consecutive difference, and then our third consecutive difference, at which point we will have commonality. If not, we've done something wrong. So here we go. F of -1 means -1 to the third power, which means -1 times -1 times -1. That is -1. F of 0 means 0 to the third power, or 0 times 0 times 0, and that's 0. F of +1 is 1 to the third power, or 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. And then f of 2 is 2 to the third power, which is 2 times 2 times 2, and that is 8. Now, I do want to tell you that your Casio calculator will do this for you. Let me show you how to put that in the calculator, and I need some buttons to do that. Your poor teacher needs to go to bed. This is not... Okay, I'm going to get a square out of this. There we go. All right, so let me copy it. No way I want to try to draw that again. And these are the buttons for your calculator. First thing you want to press is all clear. And then you put in the base. And I'm going to use that -1, that first row, as my example. So all clear, -1. And then above the C key, clear and all clear, you have an XY button. Go ahead and press that. That's your exponent key. And put in your third power and press equals. I'm going to run that just to be sure I'm telling you correctly. So all clear, 1 negative to the third power, and you will get -1. All right, so we have x's and y's. When you first learned x and y and it seemed so very difficult, you didn't have any idea that x and y were just the beginning. We've built, remember that brick wall? We're getting on up there with our wall. All right, I'm using orange for, let me go ahead and color this while I have green. I need to get orange to do my first consecutive difference. Color doesn't matter. I'm just trying to keep it consistent, so that if you look back and compare these, they'll all look the same. And then we have pink for the last column. And I don't expect commonality until we get out here to the 3rd degree. All right, here we go. We are going to build this category first. So 0 minus -1 is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now don't get excited. I know it looks common, but remember it has to be common all the way down. And that's why you don't want to stop until you're done, because you won't see the commonality. All right, and I didn't do enough to make this work, did I? All right, I'm going to have to add a row. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of things, because remember, I'll lose one each time. So let's go ahead and add one more row. That's perfectly legal. You can do whatever you want to. And I'm just going to keep the pattern going with a 3 here. So put another value in there. F of 3 is going to be 3 to the 3rd power, or 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. You can add all the x's you want to. Nothing at all says you can't. And then we have orange. So I do have another row to fill in here. 27 minus 8 is 19. And then we have a little bit more to do. Not quite done, but we're getting there. Each column gets a little bit shorter. I'll take it. All right, so here we go with these consecutive differences. 1 minus 1 is 0. 7 minus 1 is 6. 19 minus 7 is 12. Okay, and at the second column, you will lose 2 rows. At the first column, you lost 1 row. So here we go for the last column. We have 6 minus 0 is 6. And 12 minus 6 is 6. And sure enough, we get common ground at that 3rd level. Okay. I think I'm going to stop this one.